Welcome to Wired Hunt Weekly. I'm Mark Kenyon, and this week we're talking public land scouting. Alright, so as I mentioned, today we're talking about public land scouting. And for me, to scout public land is really a quick 3-step process. And so I want to run you through that. The first step is research. And what I'm trying to do at this point is identify an area and a piece of public land that I'm interested in. And for me, I'm looking for a spot where there's a chance at harvesting a mature buck. So I'm looking for a couple things. Number one, I want to be in a part of the state that has a high quality deer, or at least is known for high quality deer, and for more people passing on younger bucks and whatnot. So I'm going to look around, look at message boards, check out maybe record books to see which counties are producing the biggest bucks, and then find public land in those spots. I'm also going to take a look at where these properties are in relation to high population centers. I want to be away from most people in order to have lower pressure. So I'm going to try to find a public land area that is far away from big cities. And then finally, again, because I'm looking for those spots where there's an opportunity in an older deer, I'm going to do a little research about the specific pieces of public land and how close they might be to areas where quality deer management is practiced. And one way to do this is I actually research where there are QDM co-ops within the state and see if there's any nearby any of these public lands. Once I find all those things, I identify a specific piece of public land that I'm interested in. Now it's time to bust out the maps, and that's step 2. Step 2, I'm pulling out my aerial and topo maps, looking at that piece of public land, and then trying to identify potential hotspots that would be worth looking into in more detail. I'm looking for terrain and topography features that should funnel deer movement, stuff like ridges, saddles, pinch points, swamp edges, anything that might attract deer or push deer into a narrow area to travel through. That's an area that should be a hotspot and something that I want to look at in more detail. And that brings me to step number 3. Once I have these potential hotspots kind of marked on my map, now I'm going to go and put boots on the ground, go to those public hotspots and check them out. So now I'm in the woods and I'm going to go to that ridge. I'm going to walk it. I'm going to look for sign. I'm going to go to that saddle. I'm going to walk it. I'm going to look for sign. I'm going to go to that pinch point. I'm going to check it to see if it really is as good as I think it'll be. I'm looking for a handful of different things. Number 1, I'm looking for deer sign. Of course, I'm looking for trails. I'm looking for any rutting sign from last year, scrapes, rubs, etc. I'm also looking for hunter sign. I want to see if there's other people already hunting in this area. And if they are, it's a spot that I'm probably not going to be interested in. It's also a spot where mature bucks probably won't be found. I'm also going to look for food sources. I want to find if there's any oak trees producing acorns. Are there any isolated apple trees? Are there nearby crop fields? All those things will help me understand how deer might be used in the area. And really, that's about all it is. It's a very simplified approach to understanding how to scout public land. But if you can follow those 3 steps, get in there, do the work, you can find a decent spot to hunt on public land. I wish you guys luck out there. And that's it for me here on Wired Hunt Weekly.